does that even mean, Bowers game?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited to check out Box of Rocks from Haywire Groups. This is for ages 12 plus, for 2 to 38 players, so it'll take you about 5 minutes to play. Yeah, that was a pretty odd selection of numbers I just threw out there. So this is a game where you are going to be competing with a box of rocks in a trivia game. It is lightning fast, so fast that the middle part is actually going to be me playing a solo game of it, despite the fact it says 2 to 38 players. What? What am I talking about? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Box of Rocks. So first and foremost, you're going to get a box that's going to be full of rocks. I would feel like this would almost be false advertising if that was not the case. You're going to get 4 rocks in total with the game. 2 of them will have nothing on either side. And then 2 of them will have a 1 on one side and nothing on the other side. You're going to take the 2 ones that have 1s on one side, and this other rock, for some reason, goes in there as well. You're going to throw those in there. We're going to close that box. We'll get back to that box later. So let's get to our handy-dandy rule card. It's 1 card, double-sided, and it should have you up and running in no time at all, even though it might have you asking a couple questions here or there about how you're supposed to play with higher player counts. They say 2 to 38 players, which I got to mention is incredibly ambitious, but it should have you running in no time at all. Next, you're going to get this big old stack of cards right here. There's going to be 3 cards per question, and each question is either going to have an answer of 0, 1, or 2 on them. Each one is going to do that. So let's just show you exactly how the game is played, and you'll get a quick feel for how it works. So over here, we got our player score track over here. Humans will start at 0. Rocks will start at 0. And then you can do this by yourself because it really is kind of a solo game in addition to being 2 to 38 players. But what you're going to do is you're going to read a question aloud. You're going to grab a card and you're going to read any question from here. So let's read the bottom. The number of brothers Cinderella has. Cinderella, I don't think she has any brothers, right? I think she is just, it's her by herself. So I will vote 0. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your box of rocks, shake it all up, and then you're going to see what they answered. So they answered 1. They answered 1 brother. I answered 0. Flip it over. 0. Cinderella has 2 stepsisters, but no brothers. Haha, take that, rock. Humans get 1 point. Then you're going to rinse, wash, and repeat. So we'll grab this card right here. We're going to do the middle one. The number of lions pictured on the back of a $1 bill. 0? I don't ever remember seeing any lions on the back of $1 bill. Let's see what the rock does. Blah, 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 blah. And the rock said 1. You dumb rocks. I'm pretty sure there's 0. 0. There are no lions on any U.S. bills. So we would be up to 2 points. Right now, we are crushing this game. I'll do one more, and we'll see the number of we'll do the top one. The number of challahs placed on the table for a Jewish Shabbat meal. Oh my goodness, I have absolutely no clue. I'm going to guess 2. You know, 1 on one end, 1 on the other end. Who knows? Let's see. Shake it up. The box of rocks are going, and the box of rocks has said 2 as well. Stop copying our answer. And it is 2, which means we would both gain 1 point. And congratulations, I have won the game. And I have just played a complete Box of Rocks solo game. But that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play Box of Rocks. Alrighty then, Box of Rocks from Haywire Group. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, it says 2 to 38 players. Ignore that. Ignore that, ignore that. There is no way you're going to want to play this with more than, I'd say, 4 players, maybe 5 tops. And I don't even know how really you're supposed to play with more people. It doesn't really specify in the rules how they got to that crazy number of 38 players. I guess the impression I get is that you're supposed to play a super quick game and then see if you won, and then the next person's supposed to play a super quick game and see if they won. I don't know, maybe play a tournament against it. I don't know exactly. And it also doesn't say 1 to 38 players, because this is perfect for solo gamers if you're looking for a really weird, quick trivia game. As you saw in the middle part, I played a solo game. There's no reason why I can't just randomly pick out a question and read it to myself. So I feel like the box, everything on the box is weird when it comes to the numbers on there. It says ages 12 plus. I have no idea why it's ages 12 plus. Maybe it's a choking hazard with the rocks or something. But honestly, you could probably play this with like an 8 or 9-year-old, because they always have a 1 in 3 chance of guessing it. So yeah, I'm just going to get this out of the way, and I'm just going to say this is a very weird, different game. I'm going to put that in the cons, because weird, different is not always what everybody's looking for. Also, it's not a meaty game by any stretch of the imagination on your turn. Well, you're just going to keep over and over and over again guessing 0, 1, or 2, and then trying to outsmart a box of rocks. The rules could be a little bit clearer, as I mentioned, and I don't know if this game is going to fit many situations. I mean, it's a really cool novelty game. Like, it's a cool novelty act, and I like that aspect, and I thought it's funny, but I'm curious to see what the legs are going to be on a game like this. Moving on to the pros. This game is really clever. This game is really unique, and the game feels like it's pretty well balanced. And I actually got a chance to play this at Gen Con. I played it with my wife. I played it solo a couple times. I played it with 3 or 4 guys where we were all making the decisions on what we thought we should guess. And everybody was like, yeah, we're digging this. And I want to give it a really positive, glowing review because of that. But at the same time, I just don't see the situation where this game is going to come out. Like, most games, you're like, oh yeah, this is a big meaty Euro game. It's going to come out in very specific situations, but I know what those specific situations are going to look like. Oh, this is a hilarious party game. I know when that game is going to come out. Box of Rocks, I don't know when this game's going to come out and hit the table. I have no idea. I feel like it's a fun family game, but at the same time, like, it's so limited in the scope of the game that I'm just not sure. But this is the pros. I should be talking about the pros. So what are on the pros side? Lots of trivia questions. You'll only be reading 1 from each card. And they're relatively forgettable trivia questions, so I don't feel like you're going to remember them from time to time, if that makes sense. So that's good. Components are nice, even though I wish there was more components, because I feel like an easy way to have expanded the player count of this is if they would have like redesigned the scorecard and made it so that maybe like 3 humans could go up against the box of rocks, and I don't know, had it so that everybody could secretly reveal their answer. And I feel like that's a variant that is just right for the pickings there, where everybody just at the same time reveals either 1, 2, or no fingers, and then maybe everybody has their own little meeple, and so you could race the box of rocks to see who would win. I feel like that is definitely something that should be included in future versions of the game instead of this 2 to 38 players nonsense. But I dig the game. I like it. This is a positive review. I think it's really cool. I think kids are going to really enjoy this one. Kids, I'd say about 8, 9, or 10. Now, a lot of the questions I had no clue about, so obviously a lot of the questions they're going to have no clue about, but it's got a bargain bin price point. It's a really unique game, and if you feel like you can fit this into your gaming life, like if you feel like this would be perfect for this person and perfect for that person, I think this is definitely one I can highly recommend. Very interesting, very out there, but hey, so am I. So I dig it. This is Box of Rocks, the trivia race game from Haywire Group. It's a really cool idea, but I think in the future when they expand upon it, it's going to get even better. But still, check it out now. Also, great gift, I think, for people. So that's Box of Rocks from the Haywire Group, one that I am definitely going to be recommending. If you enjoy, that's a Gen Con outro. If you enjoyed what I'm doing, be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, Box of Rocks, do you think you are smarter than a box of rocks? I think that was the same question I asked for that. That was another thing I forgot to mention. Feels like it's very well balanced. I really should be mentioning this in the pros and cons. Very well balanced, because I am actually 1 for 2 against the rocks, whereas my wife is 2-0. And they were keeping track of everybody's score at Gen Con, and it seemed like I think the humans were only winning by a relatively small margin, so I felt like it's pretty well balanced. But anywho, Box of Rocks, you think you'd be smarter than Box of Rocks? For me personally, I did, and now, apparently, I don't. Let me know, and as always, thanks for your time.